Life is sweet. Let it sweep you off your feet.
She bought the ticket. She's coming. And
Yay!
so I said, and then people said, if you feel, but see, and I even had her buy up front, and there was on the night that she picked, there was only one seat left up front anyway, because it was, I guess, another single person, or maybe it was 3 people and they, can't all be at one table because it's a assigned seating, if you will. And
Right.
so, I was like, she's going to be at a table with other people, but I've gone to the club, and the way those seats are, it's like you're sitting with all the people that are around the stage. So I felt like she won't feel alone, but also she'll be right there in the splash zone, as I call it, because she's going to be right up front. And then I interact with my audience a lot during my act too, because again, it's about seeing, this is the thing. It's about you guys. It's not about me. Like, I'll tell you a little, I don't think it's necessarily funny, but I'm going to do live stream of
I'm
both
excited
shows.
about that. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So that everybody that's not here will still be there, because my fans are literally all over the world. My biggest following is the US, of course. Canada, huge as well, which makes sense, right? And then I have a very big following in the UK and Australia. They're pretty much neck and
That
neck.
makes sense to
I'm
me.
very, very popular in the UK and Australia. I don't know why, but I feel the most proud of how popular I am in Australia.
Yeah.
Outside of the US. And here's why. Because Canada, I almost consider just the United States plus.
Right. Well, we're neighbors, cousins,
we're brothers and sisters. Like I feel like we're kind of all one in a way. For obvious reasons, we're not all one, but you know what I mean. And then, but Aussies too, they have a very strange sense of humor, and they find things funny and don't find things funny that we find funny, in the Western part of the hemisphere. So if Australians think I'm funny, I feel like I am a big deal. Like, I'm funny.
Yes.
Because Australians think I'm funny. You know what I mean?
You Australian funny.
Because Australians have just such a different sense of humor.
Yes.
It's, I think, why we were real attracted to, the crocodile. I miss him so much, but Steve Irwin,
yes.
like, miss him so much, but he was just so, because the way they portray themselves is just so bigger than life and all that kind of stuff. So if they find me funny, I feel super validated.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for thinking I'm funny, Canada. Also the UK. Thank you. Well, and I take that as a pretty big compliment, because I'm a huge British humor fan. Like, one of my favorite movies is Monty Python and the Holy Grail, like, of all time. Like, it's in my top 5.
I just saw John Cleese live about 2 months ago.
I love John Cleese. Okay, but not everybody likes the British sense of humor.
No, but Canadians
not everybody gets it. So if the UK loves me, again, I feel like, okay, my humor is universal. And while I think I'm very American, obviously, and super Texan and, stuff like that, like stuff that culturally is different from other people, that follow me. But I think there's some weird string of continuity that I bring to the table that it's not conscious. It wasn't a choice. It's just that I naturally do, that seems to transcend all cultures. Right. Yes. I don't have any kind of race, like a race where I could say only, like, I'm the majority of people that follow me or this or that or whatever. No. It is such a eclectic. I have a huge gay following. I have a huge Christian following. I have a huge, like,
you do. It's true.
I have a huge Australian following. I have a huge this following. I seem to transcend cultures because I get, and it probably has a lot to do with the fact that I don't really do jokes that are politically based or culturally based. You know, I am planning on doing my own little, now a large part of my following is female, like the majority of my following is female or whatever. So that was probably because of some of the videos I posted early on kind of had like dudes with the abs.
Oh, I do remember that's right.
The thirst traps. Yeah. So I got a huge female following, which is great because I don't do those videos anymore, but I just didn't want to go that direction anymore. And so I stopped doing them. But my following has stayed with me because they love my other stuff too. They didn't go, I was only following her because she did those videos. And I'm finding that I'm starting to gain more of a male following because of that, you know, like it's starting to grow. But anyway, I feel like even the menopause thing, even if you're not going through menopause as a woman, you know the hormonal stuff because you've gone through, you know, your period and that kind of stuff, you know, like you're not going to be hormonally detached from what a person, if I say I'm going through menopause and you're not, you're still going to go, oh yeah, that must be rough, you know, like as a woman. And then men are going to be able to relate to it because we've all known someone in our lifetime, if we were the child of a person going through menopause or the spouse of somebody going through menopause or the, you know, the whatever, like, I feel like menopause has touched everyone, not just the women that go through it, because honestly, everybody around you goes through it too. You can't help it. You can't help it. It's like, I was telling him, I live with my son and daughter-in-law, and they've seen my reactions to things lately where I probably wouldn't have said anything because I'm just not that bothered by things generally. Mm-hmm. Now everything, but like everything bothers
like, me. Exactly. Oh my gosh.
And I'm much more willing to verbalize it than I was before. It's almost like menopause gives me this.
It's what it does.
Boldness.
Yes.
But I don't necessarily want it to give me. Like,
yes, I know. You know, I was
a very pick your battles person. And now this thing is like, finish him over, like, they put an ice cube in the ice tray wrong. Like, it's bizarre. And it's just like, so I feel like even if I talk about menopause, whether it's in a live or I do videos about it, or I do it, you know, in my show, if I decide to bring up the subject matter, I don't feel like I'm going to lose anybody in the audience, including children, because you probably know someone.
Well, you know, here's the thing. If you don't know much about it yet, you're going to. So it's actually a public service announcement. So there's that too. But you know what I'm going to do here? I mean, we could do 2 whole days on menopause, and I'd love to. Unfortunately, for the end, we've come to the end for this episode.
Okay.
So what I want to make sure that I do is tell everybody, if anybody doesn't know, that you have coming March 26th and March 27th, live shows in San Antonio that are going to be streamed. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going to live stream them on Facebook. I actually have a production team that they're going to do the live stream. They're going to handle it. They actually have it where I'm going to have screens on stage and behind me. And when I decide to interact with the audience, they'll bring up the live stream on the screen where people will see the comments and I can interact with the people that are watching it live.
Oh my gosh.
So in the live show, in-person show, I pretty much could come up, since I'm the only performer, other than Bobby, who's the owner, you know, part owner of the club.
Yeah.
I could kind of dictate things, which is, I will not perform at any other, there's some bigger clubs here, like, that are like big deal clubs here in San Antonio. I will never perform at those. I will always perform at Upstage because He let me say the ticket prices are $15 for everybody, for every seat.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, which I think is reasonable. And I also had him abolish the drink minimums. Like usually clubs will have like the 2-item. They also serve food there. 2-item minimums. I asked him to abolish that. And he did with no problem. He has no problem with the live streaming. In fact, he hooked me up with these guys. And so all of these things, he's letting me thank my fans. So then I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to go Facebook Live. I'll have some, I told Bobby, I'm going to, you get 100% of the door. So split the door with your staff, you and your staff, whatever the door sales are. And then I'm going to do Facebook Live, put out my tip jars. I went and checked all of them. There's no limit to how much I can receive. I can receive millions of dollars on every single platform. Now, taking it off of the platform, I can only do like $25K a day. So, you know.
Isn't that amazing?
But it's okay because $25,000 a day is okay. You know, I can live with that.
I'd have to budget well, but I think I could get by
I know
with it.
It's going to be tough. I mean,
so then I have a question. So when you go Facebook Live, like I do this thing, Facebook Live, I do this thing Mahalo Monday where I do a meditation with people, right? I do.
I've caught a little bit of it a couple times afterwards.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you about. That is, so when you do the Facebook Live, then so that people will know, so you do Facebook Live and then they can watch the video after. Can they continue to give then through that same platform?
Yeah, because I'm going to have the link to my payment platforms on there.
Oh, this is
my link tree. Right. And so they can do it beforehand. They can do it after the show. They can do it during the show. And whatever I make off of that show, I'm going to split it between the Upstage Comedy Club because they're basically just letting me do whatever the heck I want.
Yes,
honestly.
That's awesome.
For my fans.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give a third of it, or I'm going to keep 40%.
Yes.
And then I'm going to give 30% to the club owners, the Upstage Comedy, and the other 30% split among the staff that works that. And they're very excited about that. And I said, but we have the stipulation that if it's a bunch, none of you can quit and leave Bobby and Calvin hanging.
That's right.
Oh my God, we made so much money. We don't need to work here anymore. You have to stay employed for at least another month.
I hope that you bring in.
I do too.
So
this way, it's completely free. It's just me going live like I do any other night. And I'll just have my payment platforms on there. And then people can send money, or they can pay zero money and they can still watch it, or they can pay $5 or they can pay $500 or $5,000, whatever the limit is. They can do whatever they want. And that's how, listen, that is how God told me he wanted me to do it from the beginning. He didn't want me to charge a certain amount. And this is even if I go crazy, supernova, top comedian, getting Netflix specials, kind of crap, which I won't ever do anyway. But you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
He wants me to always be like, it's free to those of all of it is going to be on a scale of what you can afford. So like I do things called Tameos for people, the personal videos. And,
I'm going to get one, I think, at some point, but yes.
Yeah. Well, and I let people pay me whatever they can afford and feel led to pay me when I get done. So far on a single Tameo, I have made $0 on some of them because like people will say, I wish I could get one, but I literally can't even afford $1, and I still do them. Obviously I'm not going to go, no, I'm sorry. You have to send me money you don't have, or just don't have one. No, I'll still do it. And I've had several that were going to pay me and never paid me because I won't take payment up front because in case something happens to me or something, I just don't want that pressure of I've already got the money, you know?
Yes.
So it's the risk I'm taking. Some people have not paid me that were supposed to pay me, you
hey,
know?
guys, if you're listening right now, pay Tammy. You know, you owe her. Go ahead.
There you go. No, you know what I did? I tried, you know, I'll try 2 or 3 times asking them if they can pay me and they don't respond. And I see that they read it and I just mark it as complete. And some of them I've even blocked because I'm like, no, you know, like I'll go look at their page and you can tell like they're posting, they're, you know, one of them, it was basically a commercial for their business and they're using it and they never paid me for it. So I was like, yeah, I don't really want that person in my vicinity. That's not cool, you know, especially because the only reason I started doing them was because I'm struggling like anybody else is in this economy and with things going on. And I have things I need to do. Everybody just assumes when you get all these followers that you make all this money. I don't have sponsors and people are like, you should get sponsored. No. And people don't understand that. Listen, if I use my platform or my comedy or my mouth to make anybody money, it's going to be my followers and their little businesses or whatever they've got going on, or myself and my family. I am not going to make $1 billion corporation more money. I already do that on Facebook. I make $1 billion, multi-billion-dollar corporation, tons and tons of money. And I made 400, this last month, I made $480 off of them. I made $480 and they made God knows how much off of using my videos for advertising. All my videos get tons of views. So you tell me, and I'm only doing that because I didn't do it for the money. I did it to bring joy to as many people as I can and bring laughter to people. I have so many people that write and say things like, I've had people actually write me and it floors me and say things like, you prevented my suicide because I came across one of your videos. Like prevented it, not
I can see that.
I was gonna do it. And I saw one of your videos and started laughing and watched more of your videos. And I'm just like, I'm not fathoming the impact that I'm having, but I have always had a strong grip on what my assignment is. And if anything goes against that assignment, you know how many comedians are already, and God told me this was going to happen, like in my spirit, way prior, is that comedians were going to be jealous of my following. They were going to constantly tell me I'm doing it wrong because I'm not going to be like them. And they were going to be mad at me. They were going to be resistant to my way of doing things. They were going to try to talk me into doing things like these guys with the whole, the production team, the original production team. Every single thing they were suggesting to me was the exact opposite of what God had told me how to handle these things. And so, that wasn't their fault. They were just doing their job or trying to. So I'm not mad at these guys at all. And I'm not mad at them for even getting a little greedy. You find out somebody has over 1 million followers and they're offering to split it 3 ways. It can show your true colors.
Yes.
But it also, I could understand, like, I'm not even mad at them for it. It was just like, not going to happen, dudes. I was like, yeah, we're going to go another direction. And Bobby told me from the beginning, if you're not comfortable with anything, you just tell me and this is about how you want things to go. And so the whole thing is it is 100%. This is what was funny to me. They wanted to do the same guys wanted to do a professional promo video for me. I'm like, no. And they're like, why not? I was like, because my followers would be like, what the heck is this?
It's true.
I keep it low tech on purpose. I film in black and white. I keep it low tech on purpose. I never, ever, ever want my followers to feel like I'm not still one of them, ever. And so I'm not going to do that. And they go, but don't you think your followers are ready to see you go next level? And I go, how much more next level do I need to go? I have over 1 million followers. How can I level up from that?
Right.
I mean, honestly, who do you think you're talking to here?
Yeah.
This isn't about me. Y'all need to get this straight. This isn't about me. I'm not performing because I'm a comedian out there trying to get myself known and make a career of this at all. That's not at all why I'm performing. I'm performing because my followers have been begging me to do live in-person shows so they can meet me and so they can come in person and they can see just my live stand-up, because it's fun. So that's the whole purpose of this. And if you're going to try to get me to do anything outside that purpose, then it's going against the reasons I'm doing this. Any live show I do in person is 100% for my fans and my followers, my friends, as I call them, friends /
I love
fans. That. So my friends, this is for my friends. It's not for me. I don't need it. I could I could stay 100% at home and be worldwide famous and never leave my freaking lazy boy here.
Yes.
That's a done deal. I've already done it.
Yes.
People know me all over the world.
Yeah.
I'm doing this not to get out there more, but this to connect in person more and give these people the love and the attention, probably lay hands on them and pray for them and hug them and love on them and give them everything that they need. I know, I love you too. And I'll make it up to Canada eventually. So, but I think that's what got lost on these guys. And even though I was trying to make that very clear, and I'm going to be also performing on April 1st at a charitable event. It's called Car Fest here in San Antonio. And this is their 8th year doing it. I didn't even ever hear of it. And I've been, San Antonio since the 8th grade. I'm about to be 54. So basically what they do is this mechanic, he would do free work for underprivileged families. So he decided to make a whole charity and get more of his mechanic friends together. And they do 25 car repairs for families that couldn't afford car repairs. And my Holy Spirit's lighting up my whole body right now, telling y'all about it. So it electrifies me when it's like, I love that you're sharing this. So here's the coolest part. So I've never heard of it before. And they say 30 to 50,000 people will stream through over the 3 days of the Car Fest. So it's like a car show, and then they have a ton of different entertainment. Wow. And so they had upstage comedy. They have them doing the comedy show one night, and the organizer of Car Fest said, "Do you know Tammy D comedy?" Now she was asking the other owner, Calvin, who hadn't met me and didn't know me from Adam yet. He wasn't connecting that it was me. He knew about my performances. He knew how I was going to share with the staff, whatever I make online, blah, blah, blah. Right. But he wasn't connecting it. She's like, "Do you know Tammy D comedy?" And he's like, "No, I don't know who you're talking about." And she's like, "Because I want her to perform. If you can find her or get in touch with her or whatever." And so then Bobby writes me, apparently what happens is he says, "No, I don't know her." And whenever they have other shows, they do us on their screens. They'll do like a little slideshow of flyers for upcoming shows, right? So she and her husband, I think it was, or somebody went to a show at Upstage just to, because they had hired them to do it. So they just kind of wanted to go see a show and see, kind of the comedians. And my flyer comes across and she's like, "She's performing here." You don't know her. She's freaking performing 2 nights here. And he goes, oh, Tammy DeFoe, you know, and they're like, yes. And so he had already set up some other comedians for them. And he's like, now that we got you, I'm going to see if we can expand the time of the show to make it longer so you can have a longer set since they specifically requested you. And so, okay, so I couldn't be, you know, I still don't have a car, so it's hard for me to go physically to meetings and stuff. And so we're meeting yesterday or the day before, and I say, I'm talking about how excited I am. Like, I just honored that they, you know, asked for me. And so I'm not seeing the other comedians. I'm not, you know, and I said, oh, by the way, I'm going to live stream my portion of it. You know, and I have mentioned in the call, I have 825K followers on Facebook. I have 270, you know, I was explaining where all my followers were. And I said, I'm excited because I can get this charity out to the world. And even if people can't go physically to the car show, and they give away 10 brand new cars over the 3 days too. Yeah. To people.
Can you win one?
I can, because they're giving me VIP tickets. That's how I get in. So I will actually be in the running. Wouldn't that be cool? And so, but actually, I would want it to go to somebody that needed it more than me, probably. But anyway, so I just want to get mine out of jail. That's all I
know. I was just going to say, you know, you don't really
like
have a car right now,
mine
right?
out of jail. I love my car if it's working properly. But anyway, so what is my goal? What is my goal in life? Is my goal in life to make every penny that gets made to come to me, that gets made on my humor? Or is my goal to bring laughter and joy to as many people as possible? I have to figure out what my goal is. My goal is to bring laughter to as many people as possible. So if I'm saying that, and then I'm simultaneously saying my goal is to make all the money that's made off of me making as many people laugh as possible has to come to me.
Right.
That those don't fit.
Right.
I
because you're coming at it
can either be all about me or all about you.
Yeah.
All about my audience. It cannot be both.
You have a servant's heart, right? So
that's it.
It's coming from
this is a calling. This isn't a career.
Yeah.
This isn't I want to be a jillionaire and have all these things. As a matter of fact, I hope to live simply always, you know, and because I like it. It feels less stressful.
Yeah.
And so, and give away more than I keep and just have a comfortable life for me and my family and something to leave behind, you know, once I go to take care of my family.
But you can see Tammy either live in San Antonio, March 26th and 27th at is it the Upstage Comedy Club? Is that the name of it?
It's called Upstage Comedy Lounge.
Upstage Comedy Lounge. And Bobby, what's Bobby's last name?
Bobby Smith.
Bobby Smith, I love it. Of course it is. Bobby Smith will be opening, and that's going to be fabulous.
B. Smitty is what he goes by on stage.
B. Smitty. Okay, good. Thank you very much. And remember that we can stream this and we can watch it, and we can. Here's what I'm going to do, a challenge right now. I'm going to give a challenge. I think I might have 3 people who watch mine. So you know, maybe who knows? It's not going to all 3 people who are watching right now. I'm just going to invite people to, because Tammy is sharing this in such a generous portion and in a beautiful way. Let's blow their socks off. Let's give those servers and the people that are at Upstage Comedy Lounge, let's give them a real dilemma of whether or not they're going to quit after they get all this money. Like let's get Tammy's car fixed up and let's do all that. And then April, again, the Car Fest charity, April 1st, that's again in San Antonio.
Yeah,
Tammy,
that's at CarFest, by the way. That's at carfest.org. If anybody wants to go look at it,
okay, awesome.
What charity is about, you can donate on there. All of that stuff. It'll be April 1st, and they're still kind of working out the times because they're just checking to see if we can extend the length of the show now that they found me and I'm going to be doing it. They want to I was like, if you can't give me longer, it's okay. I'm fine with doing the same amount as everybody else, like, of time. But they want to expand it out just because the organizer, requested me.
Yeah,
they want to kind of honor that she's excited that I'm going to be performing there, and stuff. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, has been the most so far, other than being recognized at the club when I just went to go see a show. Because that was the first time I'd been recognized in public, because of this.
Person
so that was a very interesting feeling. But this is somebody seeking me out like this for something this big. It's 3 days it's at the Freeman Coliseum, which if people live in San Antonio, they'll know it's a huge stadium venue. As far as that's concerned, now they're going to have us in a hall. But it can fit several thousand people in there. So this is going to be and then the fact that they recognize, it's I'm so humbled by it. I know most people be like, okay, I'm a big deal. I'm the opposite. I'm like, what? This is so crazy. Being requested to do something. And it's something I'm going to get a little teary eyed. When I read about the charity, and I read what they do for people, having been a person that couldn't afford to get my car repaired, and it's been in the shop for a year because of that. The fact that they do this for families that are underprivileged is just amazing, because transportation, for me, I was able to parlay a career or a job, a way to get paid, staying at home. So I was able to work that out. But a lot of people don't have the opportunities that I have, or they may have the opportunities, but they don't know how to build those opportunities into making a living, paying your bills. Which is all I make. I make enough to pay my bills. God covers me, whatever I need. But the fact that they would do that for people, that might be the difference between them being able to go to work every day and to feed their family and not have to choose between letting a bill go and getting their car repaired is just, I'm more excited, not that I was recognized and asked to do it. In that respect, I'm more excited that I am going to be attached to something that is so, I would have never thought of it. I would have never thought of, hey, somebody could do a charity where they repair cars for people that can't afford it.
Beautiful.
And they need the car. Right? Why didn't I think of that?
Yes. Well, it's true. So, who comes up with this stuff?
Just that is I'm so excited to attach myself to something of that nature, because I feel like not only will this be amazing how it will get out to San Antonio, but because of my platform, this is going to get out to the world. And not only will it maybe help this charity get more funds, and by the way, I'll have my tip jar up on the live when I go live for my portion of the show. Right. I think I talked Chandra into it, so we're trying to get him right before me so that I don't have to flip around. And he is extremely funny. He's so funny. And because I've watched a few of his little clips that he has. And but anything that I get through my tip jar for that show, 100% of it will go into CarFest. So nothing I make that day will go to me. And also it's a charitable event, but Upstage Comedy was going to pay the comedians something for their time or whatever. And I told them I want either just give it to another split it among the other comedians, whatever you're going to pay me, or I'd much prefer you just donate it to CarFest. I want everything 100% to go to them, because what's the point in my mind? Again, not wanting to downplay anybody else. They're also doing this as their main living, some of them, or a good portion of their living. So I'm never going to knock that. But what I'm saying is, for me, that's how I want to handle it as far as that's concerned.
That's amazing. I love who you are. I do. I don't know how come we don't live next door to each other. I
know
that.
A lot of my followers want to be my neighbors. Maybe what we should do is I'll just get a big giant piece of land out here in San Antonio in the Hill Country, and we'll just have Tammy D Comedy World. No, we'll just make a village. We'll make our own village.
It's been my dream. I'm not even kidding you. If my grandkids were here right now, they'd go Perry's Paradise, because my mom dreamt it. She passed it on to us that we would have a place where people could come and just, but I love, like, you're hilarious. And that's how I got to know you. I got to know you first through that. And then the more I know you as the person, Tammy, and see your strong faith and your heart for humanity, your heart to build community. I'm just honored and really honored to call you my friend. And
that's so sweet. I feel the same way about you.
Yeah,
I love what you do too. Finding your joy. And I know we didn't really. I never let you ask me very many questions because I just launch into these long,
it was beautiful
explanations of things.
So this is Allie from Find Your Joy. I am just so grateful, Tammy. Thank you so much for coming and being with me today. And I'll find a reason that this didn't work to get you back. But okay. I love you so much.
We'll do it next Monday at the same time.
That's right. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks a lot for coming out, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you found a piece of your joy in this episode, I would love to hear about what came up for you so that we can continue to grow the impact of this show. Thanks again. See you soon. And remember, find your joy.